Make more happen. Right now, Staples 16GB flash drives are just $5.99.
Offer valid while supplies last. Limit 5 per customer. Ends 8/15/15.
You got the questions, I got the answers. Every single sport we talk about for hours. Give us a ring, tell us how you really feel. You run the show, we promise it's a deal. Who's ashy, who's classy, got Q's for Q. Guaranteed this is the show for you. So pick up the phone and make the call. Gonna make sure that we get to you all. Any day with sports is a lovely day. Welcome to Sports Q&A. Q&A.
What's good, sports fans? Welcome to another episode of Sports Q&A. I'm Q.
And I'm A. And welcome back. Today is May 24th, 2012. And we are excited to be here. As always, the sports world never lets us down with all the magnificent storylines going on. But before that, let's get through the residuals, our sponsors, Outside the Red Zone, Blog Talk Radio, Crush Media Group, and Diamond Travel. Make sure you hit us up on Blog Talk Radio on our website, www.blogtalkradio.com/sports Q&A, where there you can go in, you can subscribe to the show so you can get reminders for the show. You can go ahead and listen to the podcast. Also, our website, www.sportsqa.weebly.com. You can go out and check out our blogs. You can check out our videos of the week. You can check out our Ask Your Classy Moments and vote there as well. Follow us on Twitter at sports_QA. Join our Facebook group, Sports Q&A. There's only one now, so make sure you join us. Make sure you hit us up. So before we get into our favorite part, Q's for Q, we're going to get into our question of the day, and then going to get into the Ask Your Classy Moments. So the questions of the week is, which team is the biggest disappointment in the Major League Baseball this season?
I'm going to have to say, because of perception, I'm going to pick two teams, one from the American League and one from the National League. And not going with my beloved Tigers. I'm a homer, so there's a disappointment there. But I'm going to have to say the Anaheim Angels, or the whatever they're called, the Los Angeles Angels, or the other team in California. They used to be called this, but yeah, the Angels.
Right.
The free agent splash that they made with Albert Pujols was supposed to catapult them into that contention to possibly overtake the Texas Rangers for having the top spot, and it hasn't worked out. Not only is Albert struggling, I think he's just now getting his first home run within the past 2 weeks. Went almost 106 at bats without a home run. Not to mention some issues with pitching outside of Weaver and a couple other stalwarts. It's just they haven't given us what we expected. They were, like I said, were supposed to be major contenders, and it looks like they're pretenders up to this point. Going towards the National League, I'm going to have to say Philadelphia. It's just pretty shocking to see them in last place in the National League East. You know that, yeah, Washington is a surprise team with the 26-18 record. Atlanta always finds a way to hang in regardless of who's at the helm, who's pitching, who's hitting. But to have the Miami Marlins and the embattled New York Metropolitans above them at this point in the season with the three arms that they have on the mound was kind of shocking. I guarantee most baseball fans, if you had to ask them who was in last place in their division, that would be the team that not too many people would list, but they are. It's the injuries and some of the missing pieces are hurting them, but still, like I said before, they have enough pitching to where it should be a lot better. But kind of like what the issue is with the Tigers, the bats aren't getting them the hits, the key walks, the key runs when they need to, so they're struggling. So
yeah, Yeah, I mean, I think Anaheim probably more so because they felt that Albert was that missing piece that would allow them to compete with the Rangers, and picking up C.J. Wilson from the Rangers within their own division will really be beneficial, but it has not paid off, and it hasn't paid off for the reason that they haven't had gotten good hitting. You still have, you had the issue where there wasn't enough rooms or enough bats or enough batting spots for Bobby Abreu, and now you have a situation where you would love to have this guy contributing where you don't have a situation right now. So it's interesting to me, even though the Phillies, I attribute part of the Phillies' issues with basically Ryan Howard being out, and that him being such a huge part of their offense. I'm going towards the Diamondbacks, who last year was kind of a sleeper, even though they were predicted to win that West. The Dodgers, maybe that little touch of magic in Dodger Stadium has really well, it's not called Dodger Stadium again. It's some commercialized thing, but it really put some magic in there. And with, arguably the best player in the game out there hitting bombs out there for you, and the Dodgers, is really some disappointment in the pitching and the hitting actually for the D-backs. And I know Gibby's going to right the ship, and they're going to go ahead and compete. Once again, this added wild card team is really going to add some intrigue to the baseball season, and it's going to be really interesting come trade deadline. And I'm wondering, with this new added bonus, will the MLB follow the NFL by extending the trade deadline? Not this year, but going forward, because then you have more teams in it longer, and you're going to have less trades, because teams think that they can handle it. So it's going, it's just going to be interesting to follow that moving forward. Well, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Oh, well, on to our Ashy or Classy moments of the week. Oh, before that, our video of the week is the Giancarlo's walk-off grand slam for the Florida Marlins against Colorado, where he damaged the scoreboard.
Yeah, I saw that.
Man,
posted it. That's a rocket shot.
It's a rocket, and the thing is, the video we have posted is actually a video that was taken by a personal video at the game, not the telecast. So you can see the pure excitement as if you were at the game. So make sure you check out that video of the week.
I guess my question with that is, how much of an issue is that going to be ongoing? Because if he crushed it, just imagine who else.
Right, and imagine how many people are motivating. That's their motivation. I want to go ahead and break this board. So I mean, that's a very interesting aspect. It's kind of like in the design of the stadiums. Like when they first built Comerica, and it was the biggest park in the American League, but nobody could hit home runs, so they had to bring the gates in. That's when we had good old Mr. Juan Gonzalez. And he couldn't reach the seats. We brought the seats in for him, and then he left. So and went back home to Texas. Sean Elliott Part 2. But something about those Texas boys or those Texas teams. But therein it comes to when you get designers that get real excited about things and really don't put it together. Kind of like here when they created Cass High School, when they had the football field, didn't fit. It was 110 yards, so there was no extra yardage. So it was unplayable for the first year.
That's right. I remember that. I'm like, but safe bet that a Cass Tech alumnus designed that field.
But it wouldn't have been an issue if they would have torn down the old building, from what I heard.
Factory.
Yeah, because they wanted to hold on to that factory. But nevertheless, Ashy Classy moments of the week. So number one is the Ashy Classy. Is Durant the greatest closer in the game today? Kevin Durant.
I wouldn't say yet. He's up there, but it's still a lot. Because honestly, he has some competition on his own team, because I happened to catch the key moments of the closeout game for Dallas and the series versus Dallas.
Mm-hmm.
And James Harden has upped his game as being one of the most dominant players when he has the opportunity to. And it's one of those things, yes, Durant hit the big three at the end of the game, but it takes a little bit more than hitting one shot in the clutch moment to be a closer. I still give the nod to Kobe because he still finds a way, regardless of having a good game, having a great shooting night, being off. So at the end of the game, he knows the ball is going to be in his hands and he's going to ride out with it. I'm still waiting on that. And I guess because with Durant, he doesn't have that demeanor of give me the ball or else. But, I mean, it'll come.
Yeah, that's one of the missing pieces, but I mean he's definitely clutch. Definitely clutch. Alright, so here we go. Over the number 2, overrated signings. Are Prince Fielder and Albert Pujols overrated signings?
No, because they were costly and they may have been overpriced, but this is only how many weeks into the season, how many months into the season? That decision, especially the Prince Fielder signing, wasn't just for this year. I can see if this was a 1-year deal, when you're a team that's, this is definitely the guy that's going to get us over the hump, and we're putting it all on 1 year, which you really can't do in baseball. So I don't think it was overhyped. Now, ask me that question 2 years, 3 years from down the line, I'd be able to give you a better understanding.
So the jury is still out on that.
Oh, yeah, of course.
Okay, I'm just checking. Some people panic. Some people push the panic room button. Is Jonathan Vilma a saint or is he delusional? I'm very confused.
I mean, he's another representative of how society has become so warped. Dude, they've already given information as you being the ringleader, you being the one that as far as you were the player rep for this situation.
Mm-hmm.
Own up to it and keep it moving. Go serve your year suspension quietly and get back in the game when it's time to. But for you to be fussing, talk about this ain't me, they set me up. No, I don't buy it. And it's always a matter when you get caught, somebody else told me to. No. Because why? If that's the case, there's no other players that are being implicated like he is. And they easily could have been put in a high position to take advantage of the situation. Or they would have been named if they would have been doing the same thing. There's a reason